What is going on, guys? It is Super here and welcome to another Injustice 2 video. So today we're going to be talking a little bit about my experience with the I was going to say enhanced online beta because that's what the Mortal Kombat X beta, like Mortal Kombat XL beta was for back in the day. If you guys remember, if you guys played it when they were testing out like the new GGPO netcode and stuff, it was called enhanced online beta. I don't know why that popped into my head, but I'm here to talk a little bit about my experience during the beta and pretty much like the most asked question that people have asked me so far since the beta has ended, unfortunately. And like I mentioned before, I'm sorry if you guys didn't get a code. It's unfortunate. To tell you the truth, I never got a code for the emails that I signed up for. So if it wasn't for Jay, who gave me a beta code because he wasn't going to use it, I wouldn't have played it. So again, shout out to him. And like I mentioned, apologize for you guys who did not get the code. But of course, now we wait till May 16th. But I want to make a couple of videos talking about the beta because there were different things and my different likes and dislikes about the beta, especially when it comes to like gear and all that, because the gameplay portion is pretty standard, pretty straightforward. This game is Injustice 1 with a lot of improvements. And I guess I'll talk more about that when I do like my overall review of the beta. But for today's video, I want to talk about the characters, just specifically the characters, my opinions on their look, their gameplay, how they felt, were they overpowered, were they underpowered, their special moves, their different abilities that I got, their gear, all that good stuff. So there were 6 characters total in the beta. The beta started with 4, and then after the first week, they added Blue Beetle, and then a week later they added Black Canary. So I'm gonna start off with the first 4. And by the way, if you guys enjoy the Injustice videos, especially like these matches right here with some of my favorite matches, they were all really close, the one you guys are watching now. So leave a like on the video if you guys do enjoy. But let's start off with my favorite character. And a lot of people yesterday were tweeting me out, who were your favorite characters in the beta? Who was your favorite character in the beta? Because I had tweeted, I try to record as many videos as I could before the beta ran out. We'll see how many weeks those videos last. But I told people my favorite character was Superman. And there were many reasons for that. Obviously, he was insanely good, or he is insanely good. But he's also my personal favorite comic book character of all time. It's been that way since I was a kid. I always have loved Superman and how ridiculously overpowered and strong he is. And it kind of carries over to Injustice 2. He was very good in Injustice 1. He was actually like God tier before he got like nerfed in Injustice 1. I never played Injustice 1 or kept up with it too much, but I do know that during the first Evo, literally everyone played Superman, and then he got nerfed and he was still really good, and that carries over to Injustice 2. I actually think he might be better in Injustice 2 than he was in the first Injustice game after he got patched, because he's always done a lot of damage, don't get me wrong, but man, he just hits like a fucking truck, and that was my favorite thing about his gameplay. Forward 2-3, the God string, it's been there since the first Injustice. I really hope that they don't make it a high. Forward 2, what I think should happen is they should make forward 2-3 like -5, -6, okay? And they should make it like -5, because I think there's some pokes that are 5 frames and they connect into special moves, so that would be like Punish City. But they should make it like -5, -4, somewhere around there. They should take away some of the ridiculous active frames that forward 2-3 has, like the second part after the first forward 2. The 3 has so many active frames, it's actually ridiculous. Sometimes it looks like it doesn't even hit the person, but it does hit them. So I don't think they should make forward 2 a high. That would just destroy Superman, because he doesn't have any other good mids that lead to anything. He has a lot of highs. He has standing 2 is a high, standing 1 is a high. Forward, that's why you guys see people use forward 2 a lot, because it's like the best tool that he does have. So I really hope they don't make it into a high. Like I said, that would kill Superman. Not kill him, but I'm over exaggerating, but that would really hurt him a lot. But I do think that forward 2-3 breath should get toned down. I think it should be like -5 again, not -2, because it has like a really weird block stun where if you're not ready for it, Superman could do another forward 2-3 and catch you. And then of course he goes into trait, and that's Punish City. So I do think Superman's gonna get toned down. If it was up to me, I would leave his damage as is, because like the insanely high damage combos actually take a lot of meter. Like for example, I recorded some videos with him where I was trying to go for like his 4-bar combos, which land around 80% if you land the whole thing. Didn't land the whole thing on anyone because they would always like wager, but I did get insane damage with Superman, which I'll not going to show you guys here in this video because I want you guys to watch the Superman videos. Obviously they'll be titled like, you know, the percentage of the combo that I hit, but I got like a bunch of really sick combos with him, so much damage. That's why he was my favorite character. Do I think he's going to get nerfed for the full game? He probably will, but I hope it's not like a ridiculous nerf to forward 2-3 or his damage. So moving on to my second favorite character in the first wave was Supergirl. I just like Supergirl's gameplay and the way her gameplay just flows perfectly. She's very, I guess you'd call it like graceful. She's just floating around. Everything feels smooth with Supergirl. Her flight, when she stays up in the air where she hovers, her air dash, her lasers, her zoning, her teleport, her forward, her back 3, her combos, especially in the corner, the forward 2 loops, everything just feels awesome with Supergirl. And I think she looks amazing, way improved than what we saw at E3, except for like just the weird lighting that they have on her face, on her game-winning pose. I think that's just gonna look weird just because of like the way the lighting hits her. But if you see her in the intro, she looks amazing. She looks so good. So Supergirl was my second favorite in the first wave, and she already got nerfed. So I think Supergirl's good as she is right now. I don't think she's too crazy. I think Superman is better than her after she got nerfed. So moving on to Atrocitus. Atrocitus is Mix City. He has forward 2-3 that is unbelievable because you have the option of low puddle after forward 2-2, and then you know it either goes forward 2-2-3, which forward 2-2-3 hits overhead twice at the end. So you could go puddle before the first overhead, puddle after the first overhead, puddle after the before the second overhead. You know, it's just there's so many mix-ups that you could do with Atrocitus. Not only that, but his pressure game is really good with Dexstar out. Dexstar shoots out I believe a maximum of 5 projectiles, and you could just do a combo string, shoot out Dexstar, keep yourself safe, do another combo string, another projectile by Dexstar, do another combo string, and it builds so much meter, it does so much chip damage. And of course there's ways around that. If you know that the person's going to do that and just go for strings after string, you could do meter burn back 3, which gives you a hit of armor, and you just blow by that, right? So there's ways around it. It's not too crazy in my opinion. I think the guessing game is actually pretty crazy. I think they're going to take away one of the options. They're either going to remove the third hit being an overhead, or they're going to remove the last hit being an overhead. But something is probably going to be done there. I don't think it should happen, just me personally, but you know, that's just me. I don't know. He also has Dexstar has another ability. By the way, I do think Dexstar is like the best trait in the game because he just has so much utility. For example, he has if you press forward and the trait button when Dexstar's out, you get a force field, and it negates any projectile whatsoever. So if you're playing versus Superman and you put this force field out and Superman does like an aerial laser, all you have to do is just dash forward, the laser will hit the barrier, and you will be able to like just move freely, like if nothing happened, like if Superman didn't shoot anything, and when Superman's falling down, you punish him. So that barrier versus Superman is insanely good. Same thing with Supergirl, but Supergirl's lasers they recover insanely fast, but versus like Superman, oh my god, that laser, I mean the barrier was so amazing. Moving on to the final character in the first 4, which was Batman. Batman, not much to say. I think he was definitely one of the weaker characters in the Injustice 2 beta, not because he's weak as a character, like he has so many tools that are amazing. I just think some of the other characters were just better, and you know, had better tools. So what Batman has going for him is just pressure, 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 pressure. The ability to jump in on whoever. His jump 2 is ridiculous. There's some setups that you could do with Batman where you stun your opponent, you call your bats, you call your trait, and you jump over them, and your kick crosses up. He goes to the other side, but you have to block it like if he's staying on the same side, and then still block the cross up after he tries to hit you on the other side. So, Batman has a lot of tricks like that if you don't have Batman experience, he's going to expose you. Like, Batman is my kryptonite in the beta. I could not beat any Batman pretty much that was, even decent to like very, very good. I couldn't beat a Batman. Like, they just kicked my ass because Batman is just hard to deal with if you don't have the matchup experience, and definitely was my weakest character. But once the game comes out, I have training modes to work on all the combos and all the setups. So moving on here to the final 2 characters, Blue Beetle was added first, and I do think Blue Beetle has some of the best looking gear in the game. I think his look with a mask looks really cool. His default face, like his default mask, I was never too much of a fan of it, but once you get gear for his face and you cover up, you get some amazing looking costumes with him, especially if you get the gold color for the Blue Beetle skins. Definitely the best color in the game so far. But his gameplay, I think he was the weakest character for sure. He has a lot of range in the second stance, but switching from stance to stance is very annoying. Mostly because it's so slow, very, very slow. So unless you knock someone down, you're not going to be able to stand switch in time before someone could punish you. Something else that was very annoying about Blue Beetle is if the round ends or if you get knocked down at a certain time, you go back to your default stance, and I don't think it should ever be that way. I think Blue Beetle should never switch stances unless I make him switch stances. So sometimes I would be very confused. I'm like, whoa, wasn't I in my blade stance? And it was because by default he switches back to his regular stance when one of the rounds ends or a time limit happens, and that shouldn't happen because already it takes so long to switch from stance to stance that you can get punished if you try to switch back after the first round or after the second life bar, you know what I mean? So that's something I really didn't like about him. Let's see what else for Blue Beetle. I think his 2-bar combo is pretty much like the bread and butter. It does 50%. It's pretty good. But other than that, he really didn't have that many tools. Like, all his mids led to unsafe strings. And just, he was very unsafe on a lot of things. So Blue Beetle will definitely get toned. I definitely think he'll get buffed, but he looks really cool. And finally, the last character that was added to the beta, which was Black Canary. And I think she looks absolutely amazing, as far as like her face, as far as her design, as far as her gear. Everything about her looks awesome because she had my favorite gear in the game, because you could really actually customize this character to make her look your own and have a unique Black Canary. Because if you play Batman, someone's Batman, oh, he might look like yours. Someone's Superman, he might look like yours. But Black Canary, there's a very high chance that if you play someone else's Black Canary, they're not going to look anything like yours because she has so many different options that actually change her look to make her look unique. And I really, really like that. Her gameplay, really fun. She is a blast to play. She is definitely my second favorite overall character in the beta. She was so much fun because she has so many offensive options. So she wants to be very up close to you, and she could play at a range because her Canary Cry, fully charged, could hit you from full screen. It's insanely fast. I can't tell you, or you guys could probably see from gameplays that I played versus Black Canaries, I can't tell you how many times I'm walking forward or try to dash and I get hit by the Canary Cry because it's so fast I can't react to like blocking it unless I'm just sitting there and waiting for it. So that's very, very good of hers. She has three phases of the Canary Cry, and the second phase is actually really good, to the point where it might be even better than the fully charged Canary Cry, because the second one stuns you for about 8 seconds, somewhere around there. You get like 3, 4, maybe even 5 forward dashes. I know you could miss like 2 back threes and still keep going with your combo. They're stunned for so long. I think the second part of the second like charge Canary Cry is like plus 100, something like that. It's crazy how much stun that has. Me as a Black Canary player, I should have used that a lot more, because the Canary Cry is a way to keep your like strings safe that normally would be unsafe, because if you do like one of her stand twos into an overhead or low, and you commit to either the flip that could go on the opposite side or stay in front, it hits overhead. That's a really good mix-up option. Or you commit to her specific move where she flies at you and kicks you. She does her flying kick, and if you meter burn it, you continue a combo. Both those options are unsafe. So all her options are unsafe, except if you use it with the Canary Cry. If you use those strings with Canary Cry, it's completely safe. It's actually sometimes even plus. So Black Canary's gameplay was really, really fun. I think she needs a little bit, maybe faster normals. I found myself staying more mid-range versus a lot of the characters, because her back two it's a low and has a lot of range, but as far as you know, forward advancing strings or something like that, she didn't really have any of that. So she either needs to be up close in your face, or stay at somewhere around the mid-range and try to like sweep people and use your back two, throw in your overhead occasionally, and use your Canary Cry a lot. And that's pretty much your gameplay. So she was definitely a lot of fun for me to play. Definitely the second most fun character for me, and she does a ton of damage too, which was really surprising. Even when you don't have Canary Cry, very surprising how much damage she could get. So that's going to be the end of today's video. Just wanted to give you guys, I guess a little breakdown and opinions on these different characters that were a part of the Injustice 2 beta. Sadly, I didn't really get too many abilities for these characters to try out. The only ones that I really got were the blood push for Atrocitus, which replaces his vomit, which I think it's a way better move than the vomit. Blood push is so good. It's a way to keep all your strings completely safe, because the vomit, if you crouch it, you could punish it. Like, it doesn't hit crouching opponents. So the blood push is a mid. It's very good. I got to use the Black Canary Demolition Sonya grenade. I've already uploaded a video on that. It's not that good unless the opponent respects it and you like grab them into the grenade for a full combo. Other than that, it sucks. And the last one was Superman's like straight laser in the air. I think that shit is so good, especially versus the Superman mirror match. It's amazing. But other than that, I really didn't get too many abilities, sadly, to test out. But that's gonna be the end of today's video. I have another one talking about gear and just just my overall opinions on everything about the beta. And of course, I'll exclude the character specific stuff. That's what this video is for. So I'll talk about the gear, the online, and all that good stuff. So thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time. What's going on, guys? It's Super here. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure you guys subscribe or check out any of these videos linked at the top. Thank you, and I'll see you guys next time.